Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another raid Shadow Legends video. So we have got a guide today, probably not on the champion you was expecting just yet. I'm going to do a guide on Spider. Now Spider is one of the few epics I've just not had. I had him once and I must have fed him for a fusion. Since then I've been wanting him because he's actually probably one of the most underrated epics in the game. So what I've done so far is I've leveled him to level 50. I don't think you need him as a 6-star. I don't think you do. We're going to try him as a level 50. And if we go through his skills, you'll see at the moment I've not ascended him yet. I think we need to. So attacks one enemy, 50% chance of removing one random buff from the target. So this books up to, what, 70%? It's kind of cool. There's not that many times in the game where this works. If you're running him in Clan Boss, he can remove the affinity increase attack, which is kind of cool. If you book it up, it's 70%. I wouldn't suggest pushing for books here, but you might have to because I think we need books elsewhere. But 50% chance to remove a buff is kind of cool. In the arena, again, you might pick on someone and just say, right, I want to take out your increased attack or your increased speed, something like that. So not bad. His A2 unascended gives him an AoE ability. 50% chance of putting the small version decrease attack on. If you ascend him, he gets the big version. That's quite a big step up. If you're going to use him for Clan Boss, you can actually get into a 3-turn cooldown on this ability. Decrease attack, 3-turn cooldown on the big version. So he could be your decrease attack champion if you get him outrunning the Clan Boss. So that's pretty good, actually. It's pretty good considering what else he brings. So on his A3, booked out 5-turn cooldown, unbooked 4-turn cooldown. The big version decrease defense, the small version weaken on all enemies. So for his namesake, Spider, he's insane. Absolutely insane. He brings 3 of the best debuffs in the game for Spider, all in one champ. He also would be insane paired with Kantra because of the debuffs that he puts out there. So she will be healing all the time from his debuffs. So actually, kind of nuts. He's also brilliant if you're trying to do like a Cold Heart strat or a Royal Guard strat because he brings all of the debuffs you need here. But I'd say you do need to book this up. So if you're lucky, you kind of just land 4 books here and then probably leave it at that. If you're unlucky, you end up investing 4, 9, and 14 books. It's a lot. It's a lot of books. But I do think you need this skill booked at least. Otherwise, you've got chances, too much of a high chance of not landing your decreased defense, which is like crucial for Spider. But yeah, for me, he can definitely be run as a 50 in all kind of dungeon content. If you want to run him for Clan Boss, you'll benefit from him being a 60 because you'll get War Master, and that's how you're going to keep him alive. But his aura as well, increased speed in dungeons by 25% is massive. So I think he's one of the best epics in the whole game. I don't hear him spoken about a lot, but for me, he's brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I am going to book him up. I'm going to ascend him as well. So I'm going to ascend him to level 5. You could probably get away with just ascending him to level 3 if you want to have him as like a budget build. So you could probably stop here. Get him to level 5, all that's going to do is enable you to have an amulet on. So maybe we stop there for the video to start with. And I've got a million epic books here. So I'm going to just book out until this is full. I wouldn't suggest running him until that's full. So 4 books is the minimum I'm going to need. So I've been unlucky. They've all gone in as A1. That's the one place I don't want them to go. 4 books again. Okay, so I've actually been pretty lucky, I guess. I've got 8 books. He's now placing this at 100% chance. I don't have this cooled down. I don't think it's as important. I didn't really want books here, but that's not bad. 8 books, and I've got him to where I want him to be for all the content I want to do. Now, because I've got so many, I would easily, if I was doing this for my account, like without showing you guys, I would just book him up. Yeah, I would just book him up, and I would just rank him up to level 6 as well. But for this video, I think it's probably better to show you him as this kind of budget 3-star, only booked where I wanted him to book, level 50, and see what he can do. So, in terms of masteries, because I guess what he is, he's kind of like a budget It's kind of like a budget Draco or Venus, in effect. but probably with just a little bit more utility. But he's not as good, don't get me wrong, he's not as good, but he does bring like that decreased attack as well, so it's kind of nuts. He is a nuts champ. His base speed is horrendously low, which really lets him down. And obviously as a level 50, we've got, what, 591 defense, which is incredibly low. You wouldn't be able to run him in Clan Boss as a level 50, but in Dungeons I think you can. But base defense 591, even if he was a 6-star, where does he get to? 6-star, only 870. So his base defense is really low. His base speed is really low. His base HP is good. So for these two reasons, he's actually quite difficult to get going. He's quite difficult to build to keep him alive. So it's kind of just a watch out, really. So yeah, so we're going to build him up now. What I think we need to do is just get his accuracy high enough to land his debuffs and try and get his speed up so that he gets those turns back round again. So in terms of ring, we just want a defensive base ring. HP is ideal because his base defense is so low. Or defense as a main stat, but with HP rolls is kind of what you want. So I think defense, to give us some defense, but get his HP up would be perfect here. We then want to go for speed boots, ideally with some accuracy on them. That would be like your perfect build. Something like this. See what we've got equipped. If you've got speed boots in an accuracy set, rolled up, something like this would be good. Something like this is good. Let's take those. You want an HP chest, ideally. If you're running him as like an arena champ, maybe you'd go accuracy chest, but generally you'd want HP chest on him. Again, with speed, substat rolls. Speed, if you've got speed and accuracy, you'd be laughing. That's kind of what you want. So this one here, look how good this is. Perfect. This is like made for him, this one. I'm not trying to get any damage in his build. He is not there to do damage. The rest of my team are there to do the damage, okay? So we now want to go probably HP again on his gloves. HP, main stat, with speed and accuracy again, if I can get it. You see my accuracy is already kind of jumping up, kind of nice. Because I've got good gear and because I've got a strong Great Hall, I guess. But, I mean, yeah, this is a great piece. So he's already getting to that point where accuracy is less of a concern. So I can take accuracy now off of this, and I'm just now looking for speed. And I think we'll take the final piece in an accuracy set. Ideally, I've got HP roll on it. That would be like my secondary stat I want here again. HP percentage, just to give me more survivability. Like this is great. And then I need more speed. So for the final two pieces here, I would go speed set. And you could do any of these speed set. Doesn't matter which order you do it. But I've got myself over 200 accuracy, which is what I need for dungeons. So now I'm just looking really for, of my kind of spare gear, what's my best speed rolls? That's what I want. So can I just pick him up to like a couple of hundred speed? Ideally, but you ideally want him going before your damage dealers, because you want decreased defense out there and your weaken out there before your damage comes in. Otherwise, he does all his debuffs after your guys do their big moves, and that's not what you want. So we've got him up here, what, spot on 200 speed, 233 accuracy, 45k HP. Now, obviously, my Great Hall's bringing in a chunk of this. My Great Hall's bringing in 1800 odd health here, 118 defense, which is not a lot of his defense, really. And it's bringing in 50 accuracy. But even without that, at 183, his base stat here, 183, would still just about be enough. If I'd unlocked to level 5, I'd put I'd be putting on an amulet as well, which would give him like another 10 or something. And obviously, if you unlock to level 6, you get an amulet, which gives you like another 70. So that kind of counteracts my Great Hall, I guess. In terms of masteries, I've not got him built. I'm not going to put any masteries on him just yet. But if I was going to pick a mastery set, not that one, I would do probably this one. So like a clan boss style offensive tree, so you get some damage. And then I would do this 3 moves here for his accuracy. You could take this ability here, which is kind of nice. Gives him more turn meter whenever one of his debuffs drops off. That's kind of cool. And then you've got the rest of this here. So I think this would probably be the build that I would go. So let's test him out. I think, yeah, let's test him out. So he's 200 speed. I am going to run him. Let's run him through different dungeons and just see how he copes. I think his defense is so low that he would struggle here. So he's red affinity. Something which I didn't say that's worth saying actually for his abilities. It's actually a crucial part of his kit and why I like him so much. So this ability here attacks all enemies. Decreases the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. And then has a chance to place decrease attack. It's doing a lot of stuff there, by the way. So first, you're placing a hit, which means you're going to do damage. Second, you're trying to knock some buffs off other people. Great for the arena, great for faction wars. Thirdly, you're trying to place decrease attack, and at the moment I've got a 50% chance to land it. So I have to hit to do that, which means that I can get a weak hit, and I could not place my debuff because of it. Weak hit as well could also stop me doing the decreased buffs. This ability, though, has a 60% chance, booked to 100, of placing decreased defense. So I'm not hitting on this ability, it's just happening, which means I cannot get a weak hit. So this works on all affinities of clan boss, all affinities of mobs, all affinities in faction wars, all of that stuff. It'll work everywhere, which is why I like him so much. So he didn't come into my Ice Golem team. I could put him into my lead, which gives me a massive speed lead aura. I think it's not far off like a Ray and legendary aura. Legendaries are 33. His aura for dungeon is 25. So it's pretty bang up there for dungeons. So I don't need Draco. He's doing that job. I'll bring in my Rotus for some killing. And I think I'll bring in like a Seer Morsley Mage combo. Wherever they are. Seer. And Morsley Mage. Here you go. So Seer and Morsley Mage are my damage. I've got protection here from Sonic. I've got Ridiculous Fella here. And then I've got my debuff in here. Who's actually the wrong affinity for this fight. He will die for sure when we get to the boss. So maybe even I need like a Resurrector instead of Sonic. Might be better. We'll try it. But the main thing he's there for is debuffing. So he debuffs before my Seer goes, which enables the damage. See here, debuff goes off, decreased defense, and then Seer rips them to shreds. And now we've just got the decreased attack going out. Only landed on 1. He also could have done on that move, if they had their Shriek up, he might have put himself in danger, but he could have... Yeah, he's dead. But when they shriek, he could have actually removed their buffs. So that's the challenge with him as a 50, I guess, against level 20 stuff. Any sort of damage coming at him and he's just going to die. And then we got the boss fight. I'm not going to show you the boss fight. So for me, for Ice Golem 20, as a 50, he's just not strong enough. You've seen the gear I've got on him. If he can't cope with 1 hit, he's just not going to be able to do the job. Let's try him in Dragon, though. So let's slow this down. Let's just see what happens at the start here. So we get... That's interesting. He's placed Decrease Attack as his first skill there. Which he's just done again. I don't know why he didn't do Decrease Defense and Weaken as his first skill. Which is definitely like the preference for us. Maybe he prioritizes his A2. I don't know, actually, guys. I'm not sure. It's the first time I'm using him properly like this, but it surprises me that he's just done his decrease attack there as his first skill. So at this stage, we're waiting on basically the Raw Guard slams. That's how we're killing this. If I had more poison in there, this makes it way easier. It's actually going to be close as to whether we do it or not. She's kind of our win condition. We're definitely not going to get the Raw Guard's ability back. do get hers. We got through the stun. We're probably just scraping over the line. It's disappointing to me that he's just done his decrease attack ability as his priority, though. You definitely want him to be doing his decrease defense and weaken as his priority. Probably just don't do this, actually. Obviously, these two are strong affinity here. That's how they've managed to stay alive so long, but neither of them are kind of geared to take on a dragon by themselves. So that is also a rip in the chat. So let's take him where he's meant to be. Let's take him into his dungeon. And it might be then, level 50 might not be strong enough. So if you've got like a nuke comp like this, you want him to come in and do the setup part. So, you know, he can come in and basically, he's not placing the big version of weaken, so it's going to reduce my damage a bit. So normally I can kind of two-shot these. I've got the small version. So he does place it first here, interestingly. Does place it first here. So normally I would one-shot the spider there. So we're just losing a tiny bit of damage. But obviously, it's still insane. You know, the fact that he's putting decreased defense and weaken out for your nukers to go out there and do their job like that, it's kind of nuts. Again, we've probably not got the setup to do it here, but I'll show you in a different setup where he can be really useful. I just wanted to see it in my normal run. So he's not quite, because I normally have a 25% weaken, so I've lost 10% of my damage from my Royal Guards. He's not obviously up to a Draco or up to a Venus, but he's not far off it. And interestingly, so I've built him with enough HP here so that he's not the target for the spiders versus Bad L, who's got a much higher defense but lower HP level than him. So it just gives us a bit of time. And then these guys will just finish the job. So him coming in and doing that is cool, but where I think he will shine for most people watching this video is if we've got someone like a Kantra in here. So if we went for Kantra as our tank, so definitely you want him as your lead for the speed. Probably should have done it there in this sort of setup, because you want to be rotating back through your abilities as quick as you can. So where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Put him in. Then we're going to put Kantra in as our tank, who I showed the other day. She's not level 60 yet. She's probably in here somewhere. Yeah. So Kantra in as the tank. Him in as the speed lead and debuffer. And then you want, you know, some sort of damage and crowd control in here. So you want to go with the usual, you know, the usual crew really. Someone like Armiger, someone like Soulbond, probably someone else for speed like this. So probably something like this could work really nicely. If you had Cold Heart, you'd put Cold Heart in maybe instead of Soulbond. It's probably the better play to do it this way round. Let's check which one this is. It's my slow one. This one. Okay. So it should be fully auto. We should get speed up, turn meter drop from our Armiger, turn meter drop from our Cold Heart, decreased defense and weaken out there, plus plenty of debuffs. So our Kantra is going to get healing going on from all these debuffs that are out there, which is great. Obviously, she's not level 60 yet. She's only level 25. She is on a 6-star now. She doesn't have full masteries though, so got no masteries here, no masteries here. And we're dropping turn meter, nice. So the only risk here is that I can't keep the turn meter down. That's the only risk. As long as you've got your tank absorbing the spiders, we're placing our debuffs with Spider, and we've got our turn meter drop going on, then you've basically got no risk. Obviously, if he was a 60 and I got War Master on him, he's going to do a bit of damage, but that's kind of all the difference there will be between him being a 50 and a 60. That's kind of it. Yeah, as I say, the only risk really is turn meter right now. That's the only risk. Plenty of debuffs going out again. I could probably do with a bit more accuracy on her, just to land a bit more, but there we go. Another Heartseeker off. Nice and early. More debuffs out there. Apothecary comes in with the clutch heal. But kind of, you know, for two low levels with no masteries in this, two rares and an uncommon, it's kind of nuts. They're all in pretty decent gear. Certainly my Armager and my Cold Heart are both going to be in good gear. But then we're fighting level 20 stuff here. We're not fighting, we're not fighting like easy stuff. Armager's probably the MVP here because he's the one who's actually keeping this spider from having a turn. Spider does get a turn. That's a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying that we've just slightly not had enough speed on our 2 champs that are reducing turn meter. Kind of doesn't really matter. I think we still just get through it. It's just going to take an extra few seconds. And as long as you're doing the job, do you really care that it's taking a few extra seconds? So a lot of time when you're trying to do spider for the first time, it's like, let's just get there. If we were to change the team up and run an HP burn strat, what would we do? Maybe you'd do it like this. So you'd throw in your ultimate Gaelic, for example, or whichever one you've got. Where is he? Well, it might be. I do have a level 50 ultimate Gaelic as well. Maybe we try that. So again, he's got no masteries. He's got nothing. So do we do it? That's the question. Do we do it? You do need to click the spider if you're going to run ultimate Gaelic on an auto team, because unless you've got increased attack, he won't do his abilities right. So we get a decreased defense and weaken out there. Got a increased attack on him. Loads of debuffs out. Hopefully we get our HP burn going next, which will give us more debuffs out there and more healing. There's the HP burn on quite a lot of them. Turn meter drops going on. Please heal. Please heal. Heal yourself, woman. Heal yourself, woman. Come on. And then the damage now comes from HP burn. Oh, it's going to be close. She's probably dead. She's probably dead. Heal. Oh, it's close. It is close. Tons of damage coming out, though. Look at this. So again, we've now got 3 people in here without masteries. We've got 3 without masteries, and we've got 2 which are very well geared. But this is pretty nuts, like how effective you can be with just the right champs in a setup. We might not quite even do it. I don't know. Oh man, we've got a weak Heartseeker. That would have actually been it right there. Literally would have been it there. One more burn, this spider dies. Come on. We got this. Yes. 1 minute 22. And as I say, no masteries, no masteries, no masteries. 2 people just ascended to get their skills off. It's kind of bonkers. And that's a big part of that is this guy. A big part of that is this guy. And then if you wanted to see it running with, like an upgrade, if you like, then you would probably... He could even be the... Could he be the tank? You could do something like this. And then he could also be your tank, and then you've got more damage coming. Something like this. Or maybe miscreated monster. Anyway, he's kind of bonkers for it, right? He's kind of bonkers for the spider dungeon. And again, he can come in here and he can be a debuffer, but his trouble is always going to be that if he takes damage, he's going to die. So he could come into this team as your speed lead. But if he takes damage, he will be dead. So you have him in like this. Got all sorts going on with this team as well. I keep showing people different setups and it's kind of throwing my teams off. Who am I normally using here? I think I was using Michaud. Maybe we just go in with... I need to make sure I've got enough multi-hits. That's what I'm wondering about here. Maybe we do bring Brackus. So I would have been using Cold Hearts, actually. That's probably what I'm missing to drop turn meter. But I've got turn meter here. Let's try this. I don't think this is going to do it, by the way. He's obviously not going to be the target here. He's not a negative affinity, and I've got 2 negative affinities in here. He puts his decreased defense and weaken out as his first skill here. That's better. I really don't know why on Dragon he didn't do it. If you've got any ideas, guys, message below. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Brackus comes in and sits someone down. That's nice. Always nice to see. And obviously we've got enough crowd control with True Fears going off and Allure doing her turn meter stuff that he's really just here to drop defense. Drop defense and weaken. That's what he's in your teams for. And you might think to yourself, well, is that enough to put any investment in him? Well, I think it's enough to invest him to level 50, for sure. But is it enough to take him to 6-star? I'm not sure that it is, and I'm not sure that you need to. I certainly wouldn't invest any more books than finishing his level, his A3. The only time I might invest more is if I was going to run him in Clan Boss. But you can see here, again, he's doing his job. Decreased defense and weaken is now out there. So our damage dealers are going to start putting in the damage. And yeah, for me, it's literally, as I said at the start of the video, he's one of the most underestimated, under-recognised champs in the game for an epic. I barely hear people talk about him. Maybe I'm just blinkered to it. Maybe I'm just like, I didn't have him, so I didn't hear it. But I feel like he's up there as one of the highest. And maybe I need to change him on my tier list as well, because he's got to be one of the best. He can play in any dungeon as a speed lead, and he does work. And obviously when we get to this stage, when you've got an Allure in the team, unless she gets a ton of weak hits, that should be game over. So she's dropping turn meter every time she gets a hit off. Bam, turn meter right down. He's doing decrease attack, decrease defense, weaken, all that normal stuff. And then these guys are going to do their damage. So, you know, can he be played in the arena? Yeah, for sure. Perhaps we go there next. I'm not going to bore you with this part, so I'm going to flick to the end. Okay, so cool. 2 minutes 43 is actually kind of good time as well for what we're doing here. So the only other area I think I'm going to show today is going to be, I mean, do we have Faction Wars open? No, he's definitely in your Faction War team. Without a doubt, he's in your Faction War team. But for the arena, this is an interesting spot. So the good thing about him is he doesn't have to hit to place his decreased defense and weaken. So you're going to get it off 100% of the time. That's the good thing. He doesn't strip buffs like a Madame would do. In fairness, he's probably not quick enough for my teams to really get his job done. We could try it. Just because of where I am in the arena, he's probably not quick enough. But let's see if we can face someone like this. So I would run him in this spot here. I would run my control here. Maybe I'll run Gurga so that I'm definitely going to get some control off. And then I run my Nuka at the end of that. So somebody like Ethos. So again, level 50, level 60 kind of doesn't matter for the arena as long as you can get him fast enough and his accuracy high enough. So having someone like a Gurga just sets him up because I get a freeze off, which now means I've got as much time as I want to get his abilities working. The only trouble with this now is I've got a chance. They're going to have masteries which give them a chance to get this knocked off. And that's a risk. But it didn't happen, so that's cool. My Ethos is quicker than Spider. That's annoying. My Ethos is quicker. So I think what I'm going to do... Can I make this work? Just A1 here. Smack. Decrease defense and weaken. So she's got a block debuff up. I got decreased defense off on 3. I got resisted on the rest. Gonna speed back round to actually get this to happen. Probably not. Kill her, please. No. Okay, might get a chance. So then we A3 here and we just blow people up. So, you know, it's kind of, if I had the speed set just a bit better there, just auto from here. If I had the speed set better, then, you know, that's a clean attack. This is the one. Thank you, Akero, for not having Krisk and all the other crazy ones. Right. Here we go then. Final one of the video. So freezes across the board. We roll in on our Otis, get him dead. She's just thrown up block debuffs, which is annoying. Decrease defense and weaken on the one that we can. Just to try and drop our turn meter a touch. And then Ethos comes in and says, "This is my house!" And gives her a good old slamming. She's trying to pick everyone back up. Oh, you gotta love videos, guys. You gotta love when the videos come together like this. Come on, Ethos, get a go. Anyway, that's my spider showcase. I've been Hell Hades. Let's watch everyone die. Look, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I think he's one of the most underestimated epics in the game. Plenty of utility. And I'm only showing him at level 50 here. He can be tons stronger if you get him properly booked up with masteries and all that type of stuff. But he's not the reason I'm losing this fight. Everyone else is. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.